Welcome to Cheat Code Nutrition, the podcast where science meets strategy to help you decode your body and unlock next level health. I'm your host, Ellie Young, functional nutrition practitioner and genetic testing nerd, here to guide you through the real root causes of fatigue, stubborn weight, hormonal chaos, and mystery symptoms the traditional system shrugs off. Whether you're optimizing for longevity, performance, or just want to feel like yourself again, you're in the right place. Around here, we don't guess, we test. We use functional lab work, genetic nutrition, and a no BS approach to precision wellness that works with your body, not against it. If you're ready to ditch the one size fits all protocols and start working with your actual blueprint, this is your cheat code. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Cheat Code Nutrition. I have a fun episode today, guys. I'm sharing a little behind the scenes of my husband's Sober October journey and what I have just watched as he has gone through this month and all of the benefits that I am seeing and that I actually selfishly get to benefit from as well because he's my partner and we've been married for 20 years. And I have seen highs and lows, of course, right? That is just the nature of marriage. And while I gave up alcohol almost 5 years ago, he did not completely. But he did for the most part. He actually gave it up about 90%, I would say, which is pretty impressive. Because I know, especially with my experience with coaching, that's not always the case when a partner decides to make a big lifestyle change like stopping alcohol. It usually goes one of two ways. One, a partner can be curious and open-minded and kind of start trying it themselves like my husband did. Or two, and this actually happens more often than not, the other partner gets pretty resentful and it creates a divide and it creates a separation in the relationship. And it can be really, really challenging because they feel judged and they feel they don't, it makes them confront their own relationship, which might not be healthy. And they might have even more of a dependence than the person trying to take the break. Anyway, so I did not have to go through that. I'm lucky my husband followed suit with me. But these occasions when he was still drinking, he really paid the price for it. And he knew all the science. He couldn't help but know it because I'm a loudmouth and have been shouting it from the rooftops for the last 4 years, of course. So he knows everything there is to know about it. But he still found occasions that he felt it was appropriate and he was willing to pay the price. And most notably, it was in his work world, right, where he was having to travel for work, entertain clients, go out with mostly younger people. And it was really starting to catch up with him, even though, like, to be honest, he was only drinking like a couple times a month for these types of events. But he had a lot of work travel this fall and he was coming home just wrecked and it was taking him a long time to recover. Not just physically, it's not even just the hangover, right? It's literally the mental health lag, the low mood, and his job's really challenging right now. And there's a lot of stress, and you need to be on your A game. And even when you think you aren't drinking a lot, it is still disrupting your gut health and disrupting your mental health, your sleep, to the point where it takes longer and longer to recover and get back to baseline. And I don't even think people who aren't completely sober know just how good they can feel and how much they can improve their energy, their mindset, their gut health, their overall health when you completely remove alcohol for longer than 30 days, right? When you really get this healing that takes place in all these different systems in your body. So he was struggling this fall and he actually came home from a work trip and in the airport, again, he was sleep deprived. There was a time he was back east in New York. He was sleep deprived. He'd been drinking heavy dinners and he was carrying his suitcase a weird way, like over his shoulder, and turned his head to cough and basically pulled a whole bunch of muscles in his neck. Yeah. He was hurt. He was injured for like a couple weeks, like couldn't surf, couldn't exercise, couldn't do all the things he loved. And, it was a real setback. And as much as we tried to like pinpoint all these different prior injuries he had in his neck and what could have gone wrong, it really comes down to your body is so depleted from the alcohol, from the not sleeping, from the disrupted gut health that you become vulnerable to things like this happening. And so he's turning 51 on Halloween this year, and I was just like, "You know what? You are not getting any younger." Like, I have been so delicate about any approach I have to him drinking less or not drinking at all, because it has to come from the other person. They have to wanna do it, and me and my example that I, live by, and he getting to witness that, he couldn't help but wanna do what I did because he got to see just how much it benefited me and the family and our relationship. So I think it was easier for him to adopt it. But again, never wanted to push because I didn't wanna build up any resentment. Um, and it's his own journey, and so this time around, I did push a tiny bit, and I said, "You know what? It's sober October. Why don't you try?" He had some, more upcoming travel, and I was like, what if you just try to not drink at these work events? Because he didn't have a problem not drinking at all the other life stuff going on. It was really just these work events, and he had a big one. It was like a week-long conference in San Francisco. And he did it. And the change was dramatic. The person that came home from that, and there was a Metallica concert, and there was events every single night. And instead of being hungover and having to go from meeting to meeting to meeting, he was getting up early and going to the gym and exercising. And he came home healthy, happy, not depleted, not needing, you know, to space because he was so, had to recover mentally from it. Like, he came home like a fully, like, charged up human dad partner who was ready to, like, reintegrate into life with us, which normally he needs a couple days because it's hard to jump back into parenting and being a partner and me barking, and I'm not an easy person to live with. I'm demanding. I expect a lot. And we have a very busy life with the boys and their school and their sports, and there's a lot going on. So when he's gone and I'm just running the ship, and then he tries to come back home, I'm ready for him to take over some things, and it's a lot. I don't blame him for it being a tough transition. Um, so, anyways, I want to get into all of the things that I've noticed about just how much. Uh, I mean, I don't even know if he could quantify or put a finger on how much things have improved, but me as his partner watching him, I can name a bunch of things. And he's done stretches of being alcohol free before, but this one was different. And I do think it's just the culture is changing. I think his wisdom is changing, and I also think it takes time. It takes time in an alcohol-free journey to have these stretches where you feel good and think, "Oh, I can maybe go back. I can drink on this special occasion. I can drink at this work event." And then just to continue to learn just how much it sets you back, just how much it hurts your mental health, your patience for your family, your motivation, all these things, to really start to build this kind of armor and this, I don't know what it is, resiliency in you to be like, "Okay, I think I'm really fully ready to give this up." Anyways, I don't think he's there yet, but again, it gets easier and easier every time he does, and the data in favor of continuing to remain alcohol-free is definitely stacking up. So, here's what I saw happen when he took a break from alcohol this month. Number one, his mental health lifted. Like I said, his job is really stressful. It's been a grind, and I have just noticed a better mood. His stress resilience is better. He's more optimistic, despite things still being pretty shitty at work. Like, he is just able to roll with the punches a little bit better and to bounce back and to just um, tolerate everything better. It's just his resilience is improved. He's not down in the dumps as much. Uh, his patience has expanded. He's already a pretty patient person, but he loses it sometimes. I lose it sometimes, and together it can just be, terrible, right? And so when I lose it, he has been coming in and, like, completely calming the fire and being able to, like, give me the break that I need and, create space for me and being really understanding and actually, like, coaching to me, and I'm just like, "Wow, like, who is this person?" It is so nice to have a partner that can come in and calm things down when you're kind of at the breaking point. Like, really, it's like a tag team. Like, all right, you go in. Like, I need some space. It's just I have really noticed that for him because he's just not on edge. His anxiety, his mental health is just so much smoother, and it's probably all tied because he's sleeping better, right? He's more rested. Um, so he's just way, way, way more patient. And it's like, it's inspiring because I'm just like, when I'm losing mine, I'm like, oh, wait, he's good. Okay. How can I be like that? Cause I'm over here like, hanging on by a thread. Um, Next, I've noticed his motivation has been like ignited um, on his health, on projects around the house, on making future plans and travel. And he is just forward thinking with like a positive momentum that he's normally just playing catch up. He's normally just putting out fires at work and stuff. And now it's like he's looking ahead optimistically and he's motivated, like in a way that I haven't seen in a really long time. And so that is super cool to see. Number four, his food choices have improved. He's a pretty healthy eater, but he's way more impulsive than me. He definitely like will order, the junk food sometimes or pick up stuff at the store that isn't ideal. And he's more of a late night snacker and eater. And that trickles down to the kids too, right? And so overall, because he's not, eating to self-medicate because he's, hungover or whatever, or stressed out as much. He is just making overall better food choices, and I've just noticed it in his overall health. Um, his sleep has gotten a ton better because he's actually sleeping. He's spending less time on his screen. He is going to bed earlier and waking up earlier. Yeah, huge improvement in sleep. And that's something I'm sure he would like report back as well. But I just notice it. Like, I notice he seems more rested, more restored. He's not snoring. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so good. Um, he is actually become a better parent. And I know this has to do with patience a lot too, but I see him just evolving. The kids are in really pivotal stages right now. Ollie is a freshman in high school, is 14. He's starting to go to parties. There's alcohol, there's drugs, there's girls. There's so much change happening at a really rapid pace that is so different from how we grew up and what we were exposed to that it can be really unsettling. And especially for me, and especially with my relationship to alcohol and wanting to protect him, but also be realistic. And having him go through this with me and coach me and deal with all this stuff together it's like I'm so grateful that I have a person with me that has continued to grow and change and evolve and isn't stuck because they're drinking all the time to deal with stress and whatnot. So it's been a huge helper as we go through this navigating this new frontier of high school and having teenage boys. Um, Lastly, movement. He's relatively a fit guy, but again, motivation, stress wears on him. He gets busy with work and sometimes he just doesn't get as much exercise as he should. And instead, he is like on it. He is super motivated. He's doing sprints. He's working out all the time. He's surfing more. Um, it's just, again, amazing to see. And it's not like every day I'm like tallying these things up. It'll just hit me all of a sudden. I'm just like, this is truly an improved version of my husband. Like, and despite life being challenging and hard and work and all these things, being really hard right now, when you're drinking, it just makes everything so much worse. So to have him be alcohol free during this phase of life right now and this particular month that's been challenging, it's just it's so inspiring, it's so motivating, and it makes me selfishly not want him to go back to drinking. And his birthday is coming up on Halloween. He's turning 51 and I know that he wants to celebrate and kind of like reward himself like, "Oh, it's my birthday. Like I'm going to do this thing." So there's still a level, me being a coach around these things and understanding that if you still believe you're missing out or that this is the best way to celebrate or to treat yourself on your birthday, then there's still work to be done, right? But I don't want to push and tell him he can't drink on his birthday or Halloween or yada, yada, yada. It's also the end of his quarter work-wise, so it's, again, very stressful thing at work, and so, again, this is just this trifecta of reasons why he should drink that all stack up, and, um, I don't wanna be selfish and greedy and push for more. I have to let him decide what he's gonna do, but it's not lost on me at all just how amazing and healthy this has been for our family overall, to have him be alcohol-free for this month. Um, but how do you keep going? Like, how does one keep going? If you have been listening to, on your own sober October journey, how do you keep that momentum? And here's the truth, like, like I said, I selfishly don't want him to drink again, but I would never take that from him. I know it's a gift, not a punishment, but still, it's wild how that belief that quitting alcohol is a loss lingers even when the evidence shows that it's a gain. So I really want you to stay in that mindset that this is something you are gaining and to really truly reflect back on everything that you have benefited from this month instead of just like counting down the days like, oh, I've been like depriving myself and now I can't wait to drink. Like, look, think about what you're really trading. Like for that, 20, 30-minute buzz that you think is going to last all night and really amplify your fun and your joy and your connection. Like, did you really not get to have those things this month when you weren't drinking? Did you really miss out? Like, really evaluate all of those statements and the truth of it. Um, I know I'm unique. I know I'm definitely someone. I live in extremes. My husband doesn't, and I know that a lot of my clients don't as well. I've I've seen how even occasional drinking has lingering costs for him. Um, and so I tiptoe. I'm offering praise, I'm offering encouragement and reflection. And sometimes we do just need someone to hold up a mirror, not with judgment, but with love and say, look at you, look at all the things that you have gained. And what if this version of you is just the beginning? What else is possible if you keep going? I keep looking at my husband and I'm like, oh my God, like you have gotten so much more done this month. You have shown so much more patience and so much more creativity. And like he's just, it really is just like this rebirth and this unfolding of a person when they get out from under. Like, not just a week alcohol free, not just 2 weeks, but like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And that's true healing that is occurring in the brain, in the liver, in the gut. What if you kept this thread going? And you don't have to say forever or never, right? But just for like another week, just for another 30 days. Like, what what happens then? What kind of growth is possible then? Because sobriety isn't like, it's not just a break from a substance. It truly is a rebirth. Alcohol robs you of your joy. It's like sneaky about it, though. It tricks you into believing you need it to feel good, to be connected, to participate in life. But ultimately, it's dulling your clarity, your creativity, your health, and ultimately, real, genuine connection. So it's been awesome to watch him come back to himself, especially in this decade of life in his 50s, where it's just so much changes, right? Not only in your work life, your children's life, your relationships. So in marriage, to see that kind of growth, it's super inspiring. It's super attractive. It's healing. And I would like to also say you're welcome, Dave, for me inspiring you all of these years ago. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, maybe I did, and maybe that's been nice for him to see as well in me as I've grown and changed. Um so if you're not ready to quit, I totally get it. But maybe it's time to start something, some type of healing, some type of wellness journey. The tipping point for me, one tipping point for me, because there was many obviously, was some lab results that I got back about a full year before I gave up alcohol. High liver enzymes, inflammation, telling me that my liver was hurting, right? And it took a year after that to actually give up alcohol. But that's why I want to introduce to you the Foundations Reset. This is a functional medicine dip your toe in approach, right? This is a gentle, data backed, non judgmental way to start a healing process. Um, it's 2 sessions with me. We go through a full health history. I really get to know you. I want to investigate your health, the issues you've got going on, the symptoms, your lifestyle. And then I can help you pick a functional lab that was going to help reveal the most information that we can actually act on. And during this time, I can educate you on how alcohol affects your system. And if we do see some biomarkers that are out of range, that are not ideal, we can say, how is alcohol affecting those? And what would happen if we took a break? So if you're not ready to give up alcohol, this is a good place to start. You can start with your health. You can start with curiosity. I will walk you through it. So check my show notes for a link to my Foundations Reset. It is the entry or the intro offer to all of my coaching. So again, I hope this story inspired you today, and you can follow along on my husband's journey as he continues to dabble with the alcohol-free life. And just let's celebrate the power of however far you have made it this month, what you've gained. And instead of looking at how far you have to go and that it's some sort of like race you have to win, just remember every day you remain alcohol free is a gift to yourself, to your body, to your healing. And get curious about what one more day would do. You don't have to quit forever to feel better. You just have to give yourself the chance to find out what else is possible. If you need support, you know where to find me. This is a whole person approach. And as always, I'm with you. You got this. Thanks for tuning in to Cheat Code Nutrition. If today's episode sparked some curiosity about what your genes are trying to tell you, grab my free guide, 5 Genes You Should Know to Optimize Your Health. It's linked for you in the show notes. And if you're ready to skip the guesswork and start working with your actual blueprint, check out my genetic nutrition coaching offer, also linked in the show notes. Your next level of health might just be one test away. Until next time, stay curious, stay nourished, and don't forget, your body's not broken. It just speaks a different language. Let's learn to speak it fluently.